All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to crack the code on a personality type that's basically a synonym for leadership and ambition, the ENTJ, often called the Executive. We're going to explore what really drives them, what their biggest blind spots are, and how they can level up into truly exceptional leaders.
You know, this quote just nails the ENTJ's default setting, doesn't it? For them, a challenge isn't some roadblock, it's a call to action. Their first instinct is to step up, grab the wheel, and take charge. This powerful drive to overcome obstacles, well, it's at the core of everything we're about to get into.
Okay, so to really get what makes an ENTJ tick, we've got to pop the hood and look at their cognitive functions. Basically, the mental wiring that shapes how they see and interact with the world. So driving the whole operation is their dominant function, extroverted thinking, or TE for short. You could think of it like their main software. It's always looking outward, constantly scanning the environment to organize it, build logical systems, and just create order. It's not about how they feel about a plan. It's about, does it work? Is it efficient? Will it get us to our goal? This is where that famous decisiveness and results-oriented nature comes from.
And backing up that powerful external drive is their co-pilot, introverted intuition, or NI. This is their internal strategist. So while their thinking function is out there organizing the present, their intuition is quietly working behind the scenes, connecting dots, seeing patterns, and mapping out the future. It's like TE is building the road, but NI is providing the map for where that road should go.
So what happens when you mix that powerhouse logic with the visionary inner world? Well, you get a personality that's pretty much hardwired for leadership, especially when things get complicated and challenging.
And that combo creates some of the classic traits you see right here. They're always looking ahead, right? That's their intuition. But that thinking function makes them super impatient with anything that's just inefficient. They don't want to just brainstorm about ideas. They are absolutely driven to turn those theories into concrete, actionable plans that actually get results.
And that gets right to the heart of how they define success. For them, it's not about fuzzy feelings or abstract ideas. It's all about tangible, measurable outcomes. Did the numbers go up? Did we hit the target? Did we win? For an ENTJ, the proof is always in the pudding.
But like any superpower, there's a flip side, right? A kind of kryptonite. This amazing drive for efficiency and control has a shadow, a potential weakness that can really undermine their greatest strengths if they're not careful.
And here's the problem, which this chart kind of lays out perfectly. The danger is when that dominant extroverted thinking just takes over. It becomes this loud, demanding tyrant that completely silences everything else, especially their weakest function, introverted feeling. And that's the part that understands personal values and the emotional side of their decisions. And what's so fascinating here is how every single one of their greatest strengths can flip and become a major weakness. It's a real double-edged sword. Their decisiveness can turn into hastiness. That self-confidence, it can easily become overbearing. Being direct can cross the line into being insensitive.
And what's the ultimate price for this imbalance? It's alienation. They get so laser-focused on the finish line that they can end up bulldozing the very people they need to get there, turning potential allies into, well, adversaries.
So that leads to the big question, right? The most important one for any ENTJ who wants to grow. How do they wield all that power without letting it consume them? How do they avoid becoming the villain in their own story? Well, the answer isn't to dial down their power. Not at all. It's all about finding balance. And the key is to intentionally fire up that quieter, inner voice we talked about, their introverted intuition. That's the function that gives them nuance, context, and a much bigger perspective.
So the whole point is to achieve that balance. They need to start treating their gut feelings, their hunches, not as distractions, but as totally valid pieces of data. This kind of subjective insight is the perfect counterweight to their objective, fact-driven world, and it gives them a much more complete picture to work with.
And look, this isn't just some abstract idea. It's something you can actually practice. The steps you see here are all about building new mental muscles. Take step 1, just pausing before making a big call. That simple act creates the space needed for those quieter, intuitive insights to bubble up to the surface. It's about learning to trust the kind of data that you can't always put on a spreadsheet.
Okay, so when an ENTJ actually commits to this kind of inner work, the change is huge. I mean, they go from being just a force of nature to a truly wise and inspiring leader.
And you can see the results right here. The balanced ENTJ isn't just a goal setter anymore. They're a bridge builder. They understand the human element. They don't just win, they bring everyone across the finish line with them, making sure everyone shares in the success.
And really, this is the ultimate evolution for the ENTJ. They don't lose any of that power or that innovative spark, but they pair it with this deep awareness of themselves and other people. This lets them achieve incredible things without, burning all their bridges along the way.
Which kind of leaves us with this one big idea. The journey of the ENTJ really shows us that for any of us, especially anyone in a leadership role, the biggest challenge isn't conquering the world out there. It's mastering the world in here. That's where the real power is.